In the stillness of dawn, as the first light broke over London, Arthur prepared for another day beneath Tower Bridge. The world was hushed, a gentle blanket of mist cradling the river, and the faint lapping of the Thames rhythmically beckoned him. He stepped into his weathered boat, the wood creaking softly beneath him, and took a moment to breathe in the fresh, salty air mingled with the scent of wet earth. With each stroke of his oars, he felt the magic of the river enveloping him, its secrets swirling just beneath the surface. Fishing wasn't merely a means of sustenance for Arthur. It was a sacred ritual, a connection to stories waiting to be uncovered. The occasional call of seagulls and the distant clangs of the city above formed a symphony he had come to cherish. Today, like every other, he would cast his net into the depths, hoping to unearth fragments of the past that whispered through the currents. As dawn creeps over the horizon, Arthur finds solace in the rhythmic sounds of the Thames. Enveloped in the tranquil embrace of early morning, he casts his net with practiced ease, his senses heightened by the mist swirling around him. Each ripple in the water feels like a whisper of secrets waiting to be uncovered. With every pull of the net, Arthur goes beyond fishing. He is a seeker of stories, drawn to the hidden narratives of the river. The water reflects the awakening city, revealing fleeting glimpses of life above. A child's laughter, the distant clatter of bicycle wheels, the soft hum of a new day. Yet for Arthur, time seems suspended in this sacred space. He indulges in quiet contemplation, pondering the countless souls who have navigated these currents before him, their dreams and sorrows woven into the very fabric of the river. The Thames isn't merely water. It's a living archive, holding stories that beckon for attention. As the sun heightens its embrace on the Thames, Arthur casts his net into the swirling depths below. Each splash resonates like a soft heartbeat, mingling with the whispers of the river. He pulls his net through the water, feeling the familiar tug that promises hidden treasures waiting to be uncovered. Today, like many before, he discovers remnants of lives once lived, a shattered compass, its needle stuck on true north, and a delicate locket dulled by time. Each item stirs his imagination, igniting visions of the stories they might tell, the sailor who lost his way, the lover who clutched the locket to her heart. With each catch, Arthur finds himself more deeply entwined with history, and the souls entwined within the river's currents. He collects these pieces, not just as garbled odds and ends, but as sacred fragments of human experience, yearning to be acknowledged and cherished. Today, like every day, the river's magic wraps around him, urging him to listen more closely to the life stories lying beneath its surface. Arthur felt a tug on his net that morning, different from the usual pull of fish. With a careful jerk, he drew up a rusted tin box, its surface pitted and worn by time. The dull gleam of its edges caught the early light, and he could barely contain his curiosity as he dragged it onto the boat. As he pried it open, the hinges creaked like the whispers of old secrets long kept. Inside, he found a collection of faded photographs depicting a young couple with bright smiles, their eyes shimmering with love, and beside them lay a yellow diary, pages curled and delicate. He brushed away the dust and opened to the first entry, the words dancing off the page as they transported him to another era, World War II, beneath this very bridge, where love blossomed amidst chaos. Intrigued, Arthur felt a spark of connection, as if Sarah and Edward were reaching through time, inviting him into their world. Arthur leaned against the worn edge of his boat, the diary resting gently in his hands. As the sun began to rise higher, casting flickers of light on the water's surface, he turned the fragile pages and felt as if he were stepping back in time. The elegant handwriting danced across the yellowed sheets, recounting the love story of Sarah and Edward, two souls drawn together amidst the shadows of World War II. Each entry painted vivid scenes, the hurried meetings under the bridge, their laughter mingling with distant air raid sirens, and stolen moments of joy in the midst of uncertainty. Arthur could almost hear their whispers woven into the fabric of the river, their hopes and dreams intertwined with the fish swimming around him. Deeply moved, he imagined Edward twirling Sarah beneath Tower Bridge, their spirits forever echoing in the currents. The air thickened with nostalgia, reminding Arthur that love, even when fleeting, leaves an indelible mark on the world. Arthur stood at the edge of the wooden pier, the sun casting golden rays over the Thames as it danced like memories brought to life. He took a deep breath, feeling the cool morning air fill his lungs, and glanced up at the bustling tourists above Tower Bridge. With a gentle tug on the line, he began to share the tale of Sarah and Edward, their love story unfolding like the pages of the diary. As he spoke, animated gestures drew curious glances from the passing crowd. Arthur described their clandestine meetings under the shadows of the bridge, laughter mingling with the whispers of the water. He painted a vivid picture of a time roaring with uncertainty yet filled with hope, capturing the listeners' imaginations. The connection blossomed, the audience hanging on every word, as strangers became united in the shared experience, each revealing a piece of their own stories, woven together by the currents of the Thames. As twilight approached, Arthur found solace in the gentle rhythm of the rain, each droplet whispering secrets while the Thames glistened under the dimming skies. The familiar sound of water lapping against his boat was accented by a soft patter above, creating a comforting melody that wrapped around him like a warm blanket. He felt a sense of peace, the world above fading into a distant murmur, allowing him to slip deeper into his thoughts. Yet, as the rain intensified, an unusual stirring within the river caught his attention. It was as if the Thames, in its ancient wisdom, beckoned him closer. With cautious excitement, Arthur lowered his net into the murky depths. The water shimmered, and he felt a pulse. Something extraordinary awaited him beneath the surface. He braced himself for the unknown, adrenaline mixing with the cool droplets that danced upon his skin, as anticipation tightened around his chest like an unspoken promise. Arthur's net pulsed with an unexpected weight, a subtle tremor that sent a ripple of anticipation through him. As he steadied his breath, he hoisted the net higher, revealing a creature unlike any he had ever caught. The fish sparkled with iridescent scales, blending hues of gold and silver against the murky backdrop of the Thames. Its ancient eyes locked onto his, brimming with a depth that seemed to transcend time itself. In that moment, the world around him faded, and he was enveloped by a warm glow emanating from the fish. Through an unspoken connection, visions flooded his mind, echoes of laughter, heartbeats synchronized with the ebb and flow of the river, fragments of lives intertwined beneath the bridge. Memories of joy and sorrow danced vividly as the past unfurled before him, painting a tapestry of human experience woven into the very fabric of the water. Arthur felt the pulse of the Thames, and realized the weight of the stories locked within. As Arthur gazed into the shimmering waters, the river began to veil him in ethereal visions, the memories coursing through him like the gentle currents of the Thames. He saw faces, lovers and strangers, etched in the ripples, their laughter mingling with the whispers of the past. A soldier, weary from battle, shared a secret moment with a woman under the glowing light of gas lamps. A child, mesmerized by the glistening water, threw paper boats, unaware of the lives they would touch. Each vision unveiled stories of joy, sorrow, resilience, and hope, weaving an intricate tapestry of humanity that thrived along the riverbanks. Arthur felt the weight of their collective experiences, the vibrant emotions echoing within him. He understood now that the Thames held not just memories but a promise, a reminder that every life, every story mattered. Each cast of his net was a connection to these souls, binding him to their essence forever. Arthur sat in his small boat, heart racing after the extraordinary encounter with the shimmering fish. The fleeting connection had stirred something deep within him, a realization that his role transcended that of a mere fisherman. He gazed into the murky waters, contemplating the weight of the magical experience etched into his memory. What should he do with this newfound insight? The river whispered of countless lives intertwined, their stories begging to be told, rather than forgotten. He felt a surge of responsibility wash over him. This fish was not just an unusual catch. It was a reminder that stories must flow like the river itself. Deep down, he knew hoarding these tales would only create stagnation. With a firm resolve, Arthur lifted his net, ready to make the choice that felt right. He would share the river's secrets, letting them ripple through the lives of others, ensuring that the memories he held were never lost to time. As Arthur held the shimmering fish in his hands, the weight of its ancient, knowing gaze anchored him in the moment. An understanding surged through him, whispering that some stories are not meant to be kept. They are to be set free, like the river that nourishes them. With a deep breath, Arthur leaned over the side of his boat, feeling the gentle pull of the Thames beneath him. The memories and emotions from the river rushed through him like currents, a bittersweet reminder of the past that intertwined with the present. "I can't keep you," he murmured, a quiet resolve forming in his heart. "Your tale belongs to the water." Carefully, he released the fish back into the murky depths, watching it vanish with a flicker of light, signaling a promise made. In this simple act, he embraced a newfound understanding that stories thrive when shared, much like the lives they touch. As the day began to fade, the golden hues of dusk began to envelop London, wrapping Tower Bridge in a warm embrace. Arthur packed his nets with a sense of fulfillment, the shimmering memories of his day etched in his mind. He paused for a moment, gazing up at the bridge, its arches silhouetted against the canvas of the twilight sky. The laughter of tourists above floated down to him, mingling with the gentle lap of the Thames against the wooden pier. Arthur's heart swelled with a bittersweet ache, reflecting on the intertwining lives that had crossed these waters, each a flicker of light in a vast sea of history. He felt a profound connection not just to the river, but to all who had once stood where he stood, sharing joy, love, and loss under the watchful gaze of the bridge. In their whispered stories, he found a legacy, one that would continue to flow, long after the sun had set. As the evening wore on, Arthur leaned against the weathered wooden pier, his heart still fluttering with the remnants of his extraordinary encounter. The river danced beneath the fading light, its surface rippled with memories waiting to be told. Tourists continued to stroll along Tower Bridge, their laughter filtering through the air like music from another time. He welcomed those who stopped to listen, sharing the tale of Sarah and Edward with anyone willing to lend an ear. Each story he recounted felt like a stitch in the fabric of the city, weaving together the past with the present. Faces brightened with wonder, and eyes sparkled with recognition, as Arthur conveyed the hope and love that once blossomed along the banks of the Thames. In those moments, he wasn't just a fisherman. He was a bridge himself, connecting lives, echoing whispers of love lost and found, and reminding all who gathered that everyone is part of a larger tapestry woven by time.